Hey guys, welcome to the studio and come on in. As always, make yourself comfortable. In this video, I'd like to talk about something that may be a little silly to some, but I want to gear this to people that are thinking about getting in a band and just some tips for being in a band. A lot of people think, well, I can just get a couple of buddies together and we can start a band and have fun, or really have some delusional thoughts on what it is about being in a band. And I just wanted to cover a couple of things about being in a band and the things that I've gone through. You have to excuse, I got a couple puppies running around here. But at any rate, I only have about three or four, maybe a couple more points that I'd like to cover. But I think it's really good advice, and hopefully it'll be helpful. And like I say, this is geared for people that are thinking about being in bands or just starting out getting in a band. If you're an old timer, you've been playing in bands for years and years, lean back, get a chuckle out of this video, whatever. But at any rate, let me just start out first in saying finding the right people in the band is probably the number one item. And I'm going to talk about being the right person as far as having the right personality. Can you really get along with them? Can you get along with them musically? Do you have some common goals, common ideas? Just joining a band because you go, oh boy, this guy's the hottest guitar player on the planet, or this girl can really sing, or something like that. If you can't get along with your band members, I can guarantee that your band is going to fail. It'll have a short life. You may do well initially, but you're going to start hitting some rocky roads, and I think you really need to make sure that, it's almost like a marriage. So, because you're going to spend a lot of time with these bandmates, you're going to spend a lot of times driving to jobs, setting up, practicing, and in many ways you may actually spend more time with your bandmates, like at a job, than you might with your spouse. So it's really important that you find people that you can work with and get along with. And there's a couple of avenues, and I'm just going to kind of give you some ideas, and then you can let your mind wander what I'm thinking about. But stuff like, do you have musical goals that are in common, or if somebody just wants to do copy songs and the other person wants to just do all originals, or they want to do something in a certain flavor of, if they want to do southern rock and you want to do more classic rock, make sure that these ideas are going to gel together, or that you're going to be able to compromise, because when the rubber hits the road, you're going to have to make the decisions. Which way do we want to go with this? What are we going to really do? Another thing with being in a band is there's always going to be somebody that's going to be the best player in the band. Generally, it's kind of a rare situation unless everybody stinks, and I've been in those bands, but where everybody is of equal level. There's going to be one person that stands out. And that person doesn't necessarily have to be the leader of the band, and I'm going to come back to that too. But so make sure that having somebody better than you in the band, or if you're the best, that doesn't become a stumbling block. Like I say, it's going to become fairly obvious once you start working on things, or figuring out songs, or working on songs, or writing on songs. And hopefully you're going to find the people that to where you just click perfectly together, and you just totally overlook that. And that's really what I'm suggesting that you do, that you can overlook the abilities, because I can guarantee you that you're going to always find somebody that is better than you. I went to Berklee College of Music many moons ago, and walking down the halls, I was just totally blown away by the people that were just sitting there on the floor, leaning against the wall, just playing stuff that I go, my goodness, this is incredible. But and that's another topic, and I'll talk about that someday, maybe. But like I say, don't let the different levels of abilities become a stumbling block. Use that to, hopefully you're in a band with the people that are actually better than you, because that's really what you want to strive for. In a lot of cases, you want to surround yourself with better musicians, because that's the way that you will grow the best, grow the quickest. So that's an important thing. And another point that I'd like to cover, which I kind of touched on just for a second there, was having a leader in the band. It's kind of like in a lot of situations, you would think, oh, well, everybody has an equal say, or let's vote on something. But it really is best if you can have one person that can really be a tiebreaker, or be a leader, or really set a direction. And maybe that person also might be a little bit more business oriented. Maybe not. You might have a business manager, or somebody that, you know, that excels at that, or that's in your band, and somebody, you're going to find out the qualities of who does best in a certain area, and then have that person do that. But strive to hopefully have somebody that can be a leader, and I'm not talking necessarily a front man, but in a lot of cases that is a situation. Maybe it's a lead singer or something like that, but having somebody that can make the final decisions, or feel comfortable making decisions for the band, not necessarily as a managerial position, but somebody that, well, so they don't have to go, well, if they're talking to somebody, let me get back to you, I got to check with the band. But they can know how the band will think as a unit, and therefore they can speak as a leader for that band. Well, these are just a couple of points, and there's more that I could talk about, but the main thing, let me just go back over that first one again. Make sure that you can get along with your bandmates. That's important. Don't search for bands because of the quality of the players in it, although that's important. Search for the band that you can get along with, because in the long haul, if you really want to stick with this and have this band really succeed and survive, you're going to want people that you can get along with, and then you can all grow together as musicians. It's a couple of goofy points. I didn't get up to point 4 and 5. I just had a couple of them. But again, thanks for dropping in the studio. Remember to subscribe. That really helps me out. And the more views I can get, that's what I'm searching for. You guys have been great. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.